So today we are doing our DeltaCenter video. We're going to be interviewing Mr. Odin, some of the kids, and some of the teachers on how the DeltaCenter works.
How are the activities at the DeltaCenter different than the activities at the high school?
Well, when you say activities, do you mean like learning activities? Or
Yeah, like field trips, just like that. Or like we know that they can't participate in school dances, but are they allowed to do other school activities like sports and
Yeah, so the way sports work are that any student in the district is eligible to try out for sports in the district. They have to meet the same eligibility requirements. So if we have a student who wants to play football or wants to play volleyball, they can try out and they have the same opportunities as any student on the team, and then they have to meet the same eligibility requirements.
Understanding that all students are different, how are the Delta kids different from the high school students or younger? How are they similar?
How are Delta students in general different? I would say that they're not different. As a teacher, I basically perceive all students as human beings who are doing the best in their existences as they can. And so, being a teacher at the DeltaCenter, I don't perceive students as any differently. What I do recognize is that the students at the DeltaCenter are often dealing with challenges that are different than the traditional student. They're often coming out of backgrounds or environments that distract them from their academic goals, their academic progress often. And so I don't perceive students as different, but I perceive what they are managing and dealing with in their lives as different.
Whenever you taught at the high school or middle school, did you ever think you would ever teach at the DeltaCenter?
Well, actually, I didn't teach at the high school or middle school here. I did do my student teaching at a high school and a middle school, and I really enjoyed working with larger groups because we had a lot more dialogue, we had a lot more conversation about the subjects that I teach, like government and history and geography. But I didn't envision myself teaching at an alternative education setting like the DeltaCenter. And it just kind of happened that I ended up here, and I actually really love this job, and I enjoy working with the DeltaCenter students because it offers different challenges and it offers different opportunities than a traditional classroom setting would.
Okay, well, thank you
Sure.
for giving us your time, and
Sure.
have a great day.
You too. Thank you.
Teaching at the DeltaCenter different from teaching in a traditional classroom?
One of the main differences is you don't have an opportunity to work face-to-face with students, so it's a little more difficult to make that connection with students, but we do communicate a lot through emails, over the phone at times, and we do have opportunities to meet them in person, so that does give us that one-to-one connection that we have with students, but that would be the biggest difference, is not being able to work directly with them person to person. So that's a big difference.
What do you like about the DeltaCenter online?
I really like it because it allows me to work at my own pace, and I can take the classes that I need to take. It starts me out where I need to be. I don't have to do all the remedial nonsense that I had to do back in the public high
I
school.
think you learn better now in a smaller classroom than in a regular classroom setting.
Definitely now in a smaller classroom setting, I can have more one-on-one with the teachers. The teachers are more willing to help. It's not as stressed as I have to wait on 10 other students until I can get help, and it's a lot easier.
What do you like about the DeltaCenter?
Everything. It's easy to get my work done and actually getting ahead more than I was at the high school. I was actually falling behind more.
Do you think you learn better in a smaller classroom or in a regular classroom setting?
In a smaller classroom,
And why is that?
because there's not as much distractions as there would be in a larger classroom.
How's the DeltaCenter helped you in your education?
It helps me with my grades and like get from being where I was behind so I can catch up.
Okay, we understand that all students are different, but how are the Delta kids different from the high school students or younger? How are they similar?
Okay, I think they're different. The way they are different are like I said, it's an alternative high school, so we have kids that come in after possibly dropping out of school, but then they want to continue their education, so they come back. We have adult learners. We have mothers that are still trying to get their diploma. We have a program where they can bring their child with them up to the age of 3. We have students who just like the smaller class sizes. We have students that have just moved from another state and they're not quite ready to transition into the regular education environment. I think how they're the same is they work to the best of their ability. We hold them accountable, and they earn the same credits as they do at the high school.
We're an alternative pathway for students, and we really offer an assortment of things. We offer a way for students to catch up here on credits if they weren't feeling as successful or hadn't been as successful in a traditional setting. We also offer an alternative pathway for students who were doing good and want to go ahead. We have a student this year who's graduating as a junior, so that's an example of someone who was successful at traditional school. She had a very high GPA and then came over to our school and is graduating a year early and going on to college. So we offer, a program for all different types of students. We have National Honor Society here for our online school. So our online school is also another entity of the DeltaCenter. All the DeltaCenter students, they participate in the online program, but we also have online students all over Colorado. And we have the National Honor Society for those students this year, and we'll hope to bring that to the DeltaCenter students because we have many students with high GPAs.